A young 14-year-old Filipino boy walks onto the America's Got Talent stage with the kind of presence that immediately grabs attention, even before he speaks. His outfit already tells a story: a worn leather jacket that looks a size too big, ripped jeans, black boots, and a guitar strapped across his shoulder like it's part of his identity. He isn't nervous, but he isn't arrogant either. There's a quiet confidence in the way he walks, like someone who has practiced this moment for years in front of a mirror, waiting for the world to finally see him. The audience reacts with curiosity, some cheering, some whispering, wondering what kind of performance they're about to witness. The judges look intrigued but unsure, especially Simon, who squints slightly as if he's already ready to judge harshly. When the boy introduces himself, his voice is soft and respectful, but when he mentions he grew up listening to classic rock with his dad, the crowd reacts. There's a tiny spark in Simon's expression, like he wasn't expecting that answer from a teenager. He grips the mic and smiles, not forced, but full of excitement. The camera cuts to his parents standing backstage, hands together, emotional and hopeful. You can almost feel the pressure: a kid on a world stage, representing not just himself, but his family, his culture, and every young dreamer who ever picked up a guitar. As the judges give him the signal to start, he takes one deep breath and shifts his weight, touching the strings of his guitar like greeting an old friend. The entire theater goes silent. This is the moment before the storm, the moment when a kid becomes a rocker, and a stage becomes a destiny. The silence in the theater lasts only a second, but it feels like time has paused. Then the boy strums the first chord, and everything changes. The sound that comes from his guitar isn't hesitant or beginner level, it's sharp, clean, and full of attitude. The audience reacts instantly, some people gasping, others cheering because they didn't expect that kind of power from someone so young. But it's when he opens his mouth to sing that the real shock hits. His voice isn't the soft, innocent tone people expect from a teenager. It's gritty, raw, and full of that classic rock soul that belongs to legends twice his age. The tone is textured, the vibrato strong, and the way he controls his voice shows real talent, not luck. Simon, who was leaning back in his chair, slowly sits forward, eyebrows rising in disbelief. Heidi's eyes widen as she nods along, already smiling. Howie starts tapping the table like a drum, enjoying the rhythm. The camera pans to the crowd, some are already on their feet, phones out, recording what feels like a moment. The boy doesn't just sing the song, he owns it. He looks completely alive, moving with the beat, fingers sliding across the guitar neck with confidence. There's no fear, no hesitation, just pure connection to the music. The judges exchange looks, the kind that only happens when something unexpectedly good is happening. The song is a classic hit, one that many would be scared to touch, but he performs it like it was written for him. Every note he hits feels intentional, full of heart and energy. By the time the chorus hits, the theater is no longer a talent show stage, it's a full rock concert, and everyone knows they're witnessing the start of something big. The song hits its midpoint, and that's when everything shifts from impressive to unforgettable. The instrumental break arrives, and instead of just standing still and waiting for the music to play out, the boy steps forward, lowers his mic, and tilts his guitar like he's been waiting for this exact second. Then it happens, the solo. His fingers explode into motion, flying across the strings with the kind of speed and precision you'd expect from a seasoned guitarist, not a 14-year-old kid on a TV stage. The crowd reacts instantly, screams, whistles, hands in the air. Even the cameraman zooms in tightly, trying to catch every detail of his blistering hand movements. He isn't just playing the solo, he's living it. His head starts to move with the rhythm, hair shaking, eyes closed, completely lost in the music. The lights flash, the stage smoke rises, and suddenly the AGT stage feels like a sold-out rock arena. The judges can't stay seated. Howie is already standing, pumping his fist into the air. Heidi yells, "Wow," over the music, while Sophia has both hands on her head in disbelief. But the most shocking reaction comes from Simon, a rare, genuine smile, followed by a small laugh of amazement. He doesn't just look entertained, he looks stunned. The boy adds a final touch. He bends back, slides into the last note of the guitar solo, then snaps forward right as the drums kick back in. The audience loses it. People are chanting, clapping, cheering, like they've just discovered the next rock legend. It's no longer a performance. It's a takeover. A kid from the Philippines has just turned a talent show into a historic stage moment, and everyone in the room knows it. As the final chorus echoes through the arena, the boy gives everything he has left, voice pushed to the limit, guitar ringing with a final burst of energy. Then, just as suddenly as the storm began, he ends it with one last powerful note and a dramatic slide of his guitar. The sound cuts. The lights freeze. And the entire theater falls into absolute silence. For a full second, nobody moves. Not the judges. Not the audience. Not even the boy. He stands there, breathing hard, chest rising and falling, his fingers still wrapped around the neck of the guitar. It's the kind of silence that only happens after something unbelievable, the kind that feels like the world is processing what just happened. Then it hits. The room explodes. The audience jumps to their feet faster than a wave at a stadium. People are screaming, clapping, stomping, waving their arms in the air. Some stand on their chairs just to see him better. The boy's eyes widen, and for the first time, the tough rock star look cracks. He almost looks emotional, like he can't believe this reaction is for him. The judges rise one by one. Howie gives a standing applause, his face lit up with pride. Heidi's hands are clasped to her chest, beaming like she just witnessed magic. Sophia leans over the desk, shouting words the boy can't even hear over the roar. And then there's Simon, smiling, nodding slowly, tapping the desk with his fingers in approval. Not just impressed. Respectful. The boy lifts his guitar slightly, like a bow, and the audience only gets louder. In that moment, there's no age, no nationality, no label, just a young artist who earned every cheer with pure talent and fire. It's the pause before the button. The moment right before dreams turn real. Before the audience even begins to calm down, Sophia suddenly reaches forward and slams her palm onto the golden buzzer. The sound hits like thunder, followed by a burst of gold confetti raining from the ceiling. The crowd erupts into chaos, screaming, cheering, waving their hands in celebration. The boy freezes, eyes wide, as if his brain needs a second to understand what just happened. The music swells, the lights flash, and he drops to his knees, overwhelmed. His guitar rests against the floor as he covers his face, shaking with disbelief. Backstage, his parents burst into tears, the kind of tears that come from years of sacrifice, late-night rehearsals, and dreams whispered in small rooms. They rush onto the stage, arms open, wrapping him in a hug as the confetti sticks to their hair and clothes. Sophia walks up to him, smiling like a proud mentor. "You were born for this," she says, and even though he can barely hear her through the cheers, he nods, still emotional. Heidi blows him a kiss, Howie claps over his head, but it's Simon's reaction that seals the moment. He leans into his mic and says, "That wasn't just a performance, that was a rock revolution. You just reminded the world what real music feels like." The boy looks up, tears in his eyes, smiling through the shock. The stage that started as a dream is now covered in golden confetti, his confetti. The judges wave, the audience chants his name, and the camera zooms in on his face, not as a contestant, but as a star in the making. In that moment, a 14-year-old Filipino rocker doesn't just win a golden buzzer. He earns a place in AGT history.